Hello buddy, welcome back to another video. My name is Hayden and I am the owner of TOGA Motorsport, and today we're going to be doing something slightly differently on the channel. We're going to be reviewing my brand new GTOMEGA Prime cockpit rig. I picked this rig up 2 or 3 days ago, had it delivered, started building it, and effectively what I wanted to do now is put this video together to try and give you guys a real in-depth look at this rig, the good points, the bad points, the bits that maybe you necessarily trying to find or you're a bit apprehensive on buying a GTOMEGA Prime rig. Hopefully in this video we can clear all that up and you guys have a better understanding the rig itself, the cost points, the cost value compared to other rigs, and whether or not you should go out and buy a GTOMEGA Prime rig. Now, this is not a sponsored video. This is 100% my opinion. GTOMEGA have not sent me this rig. This is just what of my opinion of the rig itself, nothing else in between. Without further ado then, let's dive straight in and start reviewing this rig. So let's start with what I've got. I've got the GTOMEGA Prime cockpit rig. You can see currently as I record this video on the 2nd of November 2023 that there currently is a sale on the GTOMEGA website, and you can pick up this rig for £80 less than what the normal standard price is. So I picked up the GTOMEGA Prime rig with the XL RS seat. I had the R9 RS9 seat on my previous rig, which was the GTOMEGA ART rig, and I felt that a little bit too small for my physique, so I went with the extra large RS seat, and it actually feels really comfortable, and I have no complaints so far. I also went with the wheel plate, standard wheel plate, no direct drive wheel plate. Might upgrade to that in the future depending on how I feel. And if I scroll down a little bit further, I've got the Prime integrated monitor, single monitor mount. Now, this is where my first mistake potentially has occurred. I should have and probably spent more than I probably needed to, and I probably could have picked up the monitor single stand itself. It was something I thought it might be quite integral with my space that I've got with my rig. I thought that having a separate stand might have been the wrong idea, but on reflection, maybe I should have saved myself 20 quid and got with the single monitor stand, which means then I have more control over the positioning of my screens compared to how I've got it set today. Something maybe in the future that I could look at doing, but as it stands, this is my setup. So my setup cost me £854.86, free delivery with the shipping. I didn't have to pay delivery, it was all free of charge from GTOMEGA. So please note, when you do check out the order, you'll be given a consignment number from GTOMEGA or the courier that's delivering your parcel. In the instance of mine, it was Parcel Force that delivered my parcel or parcels. My consignment was split into 4 parts, but actually over 6 boxes, and I only got the consignment number of the last couple of boxes, not the first 2. So just bear that in mind, that if you do order this rig, that it might say on your email you've only got 1 consignment number, but actually don't worry, it has been dispatched as you require, and things might start turning up on different days. For me, I received 3 boxes on the first day, and then 2 more boxes on the second day when my consignment number said it was going to be delivered. So now we have a small piece of time lapse that initially when I unboxed everything, and sort of this was the first sort of box that I had, it was relatively easy. I laid it all out. You can see I've got a real small space to get everything built, and it was a bit of a nightmare to start with to try and get everything out and ready in an order where I could get things put together. So yeah, apologies for the bad hairstyle. So effectively I'm making the rear end for where the seat's going to sit on, and you can see the runners for where the seat's going to sit. This is a very interesting piece of the build right here. I'll try and explain the best I can. Effectively, the seat was very difficult to screw onto the base. I couldn't push the runners out far enough to get the seat mounted. I could get the back ones in okay, but when it comes to the front ones, I couldn't move the seat far enough back to then grab the seat bolts and put those in. So that was quite difficult for me to try and manage to put the seat. I did manage to eventually do it, but I had to dismantle the seat off the runner itself to be able to get the seat bolted to the base properly. Okay, another really tricky part of the build. This one was the pedal box and getting the pedals lined up. They're still not correct today, but they're better in a better place. Effectively, in the V2 version, which I have, the pedal box mount is a lot more sturdier. The V1s has a really flexible pedal plate and I think was quite a bit of flex in the pedals, where this is completely differently. This must weigh 5 kilos on its own. It was very difficult to try and get the pedals lined up in the correct holes to try and move it in the right direction. You can see where I'm trying to move the rig to try and push it backwards and forwards to try and line the pedals up with the right height, but also the correct length for my legs to be able to get them get it to how I want it to be. It's still fine tuning. I'm still doing the fine tuning even now, but as you can see, it's a very sturdy base, and definitely a big tick for GTOMEGA here, because they've really improved this part of the build. So we're coming on to the final stages now of this build, and I'm now sort of getting the monitor mount, the single integrated monitor mount added to the rig itself. Initially it was very close, everything seems like too close, but I think that's just the way it is and how the rig itself it looks. I will say mounting my monitor has been a massive pain in the backside even now. Effectively, the mounting plate for the rig itself, the monitor itself, covered my HDMI and power ports. So effectively I couldn't input my HDMI or my display port, whatever it may well be, and my power cable. I've had to basically change the mounting plate, effectively try and get it to not only sit on the screen correctly, but also get my monitor on there and it feel rather sturdy. So the actual integrated monitor mount itself is great, it works perfectly, but it doesn't do what I expected it to do. So as we come on to the last few parts of this rig then, and the last part of this video, I'm just going to give you sort of a brief overview and a brief in-depth look maybe of what this rig has to offer. You can see now I've got my pedal plate exactly where I pretty much want it. You can see it weighs an absolute ton. It's a really hefty piece of metal, and it was really difficult for me to move it around and try and tighten everything up in its correct place. You can also see here another bit of a negative where I've had to move my integrated monitor mount. You can see I've scuffed all the paintwork. Slightly annoying, and maybe I've over tightened it ever so slightly, but yeah, it doesn't look great if you're close up. You can see that the monitor mounts, I've had to sort of adjust it to try and work for my monitor, because obviously the big plate that you get with the rig or the set is too big for my inputs, and it was basically just blocking it, and I couldn't plug in my HDMI or DisplayPort and my power adapter, so I had to think of it on my feet there to try and get it to how I want. But yeah, the seat's all in. Obviously, like I mentioned before, I had to take the seat off its runners to get the front of the seat attached to the runners itself and the base, but I've got those all sorted now and I'm happy with the seat. The seat is very comfortable. Like I say, for the slightly bigger gentleman like myself, it's quite a comfy fit and seems to be quite nice. Excuse the small hand shot there. But apart from that, I'm really happy with the rig itself. I'm very happy with the investment I've made into the rig. It's definitely going to be my, in quotes, forever rig. I don't see myself ever changing from this GTOMEGA Prime rig. It does everything I want it to do. It's sturdy, it's customizable, and it just looks, I think it looks good. I think maybe in the future I might upgrade it to the stands, the monitor stands, rather than the integrated monitor mounts, but maybe something that I can look at in the future and decide as and when I want to. If you like this video at all, please do consider hitting that like button, and obviously if you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, please do consider hitting subscribe. Before I finish this video was not sponsored by GTOMEGA in any way, shape or form. This was a video that was created off our own backs, so no GTOMEGA input has been added here. It's a complete own review by myself. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Speak to you next time.